Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a fantastic day. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. Tether, the world's largest stablecoin by market capitalization, was one of the dollar-pegged cryptocurrencies to have been affected by the collapse of the Terra ecosystem. And I'm not sure why. Once again, if you haven't been here in a while or recently, or haven't been looking at a lot of the news, a lot of the FTX news has for some reason dispersed, but now a lot of people are re-talking again about Terra Luna Classic, Terra Luna, Do Kwon. There was news 2 days ago. He's on bail or trying to get bail, or I don't know. It's something, and I don't know why the Terra Luna news is leaking back into the cryptocurrency space, but alas, here we are. A year later, the stablecoin has reclaimed its stable dollar peg and boasts one of the deepest reserves in the cryptocurrency industry. Gabor Gorbaks provided an insight into the significance of precious metals to Tether's financial setup. Interestingly, Gorbaks, that is G-U-R-B-A-C-S, the founder of Pointsville, dubbed Tether a precious metals powerhouse. So, Tether over the years has been marred in controversy that's not actually warranted. I myself believe that a large portion of the people and or players who have continuously announced or said that they believe that something was wrong with Tether were people who were associated with and or were trying to create their own stablecoin. Tether came out of nowhere in 2017, became absolutely monstrous. And since then, a large number of people have continuously claimed that something is wrong with Tether. They don't have enough for their reserves. They're faking something. And after about 5, 6, or 7 different audits to make sure that Tether actually has a whole bunch of stuff, the news kind of relatively continues on. So Tether gives quarterly, bi-quarterly, I'm not really sure, or orderly, how often they give these reserve audits. But this one, for some reason, sparked a lot of interest in people. And I'll tell you why, but then also why I think people need to chill out and just calm down, and not everything has a dramatic amount of significance. According to Gorbaks' tweet, Tether Holding Limited, the issuer of Tether, WOW, has placed a substantial importance on gold, forging a solid reputation in the industry. His tweet also revealed that Tether, the third largest cryptocurrency. Tether is not really a crypto, but that's okay. The idea of cryptocurrency has to do with immutability and them or no one being able to stop or freeze your transactions. Tether is a company. They can freeze your coin, they can hold your coin, they can do as they wish, regardless of if your coin is on other blockchains, etc., etc. Watch out, read the news, pay attention. It is not a cryptocurrency. It is a digital currency that exists on top of blockchains, but it is issued by and can be burned by and held back by the company Tether. Has a staggering sum of roughly 3.4 billion in reserves held in gold. Here's the tweet right here. It says Tether Gold's assets are around $3.4 billion. AUM is around half. It says 500 million. Tether is now a precious metals powerhouse. Don't underestimate the Tether team, high integrity and hardworking team that supports Bitcoin, commodity technologies, and financial inclusion. Had a light eye roll there. So there's numbers here. You can't really see them, so I was able to magnify them with the power of the internet for those of you not looking at the screen. Tether has treasury bills, overnight reserve repurchase agreements, term reserve repurchase agreements, money market funds, cash and bank deposits, non-US treasury bills, corporate bonds, precious metal, Bitcoin, other investments, and secured loans. Over the course of the last few years, people believe that their other investments might allude to a large holding of real estate. A couple of days ago, I don't know if we went over it, there was news that Tether holds an egregious amount of Bitcoin. It appears roughly Depending on the time when you're looking at the amount in their reserves, they hold roughly around $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. And there were a large number of people who were questioning as to why Tether had more money in gold and silver and yada yada as opposed to Bitcoin. And then I reminded a large number of people that Bitcoin is near 1/4 at this point of its previous all-time high, and as such, I assume that at one point gold eclipsed the amount of precious metals that they have. While we do live in an increasingly digital world, I think people do forget that companies and governments and central banks exist, and gold is still a very stable unit of measurement. I wouldn't even call it a real investment, at least for me. So as such, they are going to, of course, have gold and silver as well. They also have treasury bills and money market funds and other bonds as well from governments, which sometimes will give you only 0.5%, but they do it to keep the price of the actual asset stable. So relatively popular news. I'm pretty sure, what was it? It wasn't Bloomberg. There was one other news publication who every 6 months over the last couple of years has made sure that everyone knows exactly how terrible, bad, awful, and sneaky Tether actually is. And the longer Tether stays around, the more information we get as to how much money they have, how many reserves they have. So they're not simply printing Tether out of thin air like the US dollar, which I always find really funny. Isn't it really weird how everyone points the finger at the cryptocurrency space saying that something is absolutely terrible, but none of these people are turning around and pointing at the system that has been destroyed and is currently collapsing with all these banks falling apart and saying that that's the real issue and not the hyper-transparent cryptocurrency space? Anyway, that's the Tether holds gold news, and people were shocked. People were quite shocked about it. You shouldn't be shocked. They hold everything. They hold everything that can potentially have value, so that in the event that one of their other investments begins to collapse, they have diversified enough that Tether, the coin, will still be around. Yeah, that's the Tether has stuff news. Yeah, crazy, right? That they hold more than just Bitcoin and US dollars. Yeah. Let's move on. Also in news, US-based cryptocurrency company called Ripple has recently announced they have acquired a company called Metaco, that is Meta, and then CO. Metaco is a Swiss bank-based cryptocurrency firm, and the deal, valued at $250 million, marks Ripple's foray into the acquisition space. Not as important as many years ago. The idea of crypto custody was quite big, starting around 2018. One of the major ideas was that if we wanted rich people to get into this is not me. This is from Coinbase. This is from Gemini. This is from Bakkt. This is from all the larger institutions. That if we wanted rich people to enter into the cryptocurrency space, we simply could not expect them to simply just lay their money under their mattress onto a ledger or onto Coinbase or somewhere else. You had to have a specific thing for custody for them, as they are not dealing in $1,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $56,000 amounts. They are dealing in hundreds of millions, if not low billions of dollars. You had to be registered as a custody company. As one might have imagined, the SEC had an issue with this, and they said that a lot of times that these companies were trying to custody cryptocurrencies by themselves. They could not do so. They did not have the literal, so the SEC says, the proper framework. They couldn't do it. They didn't have the clearing houses and other regulatory things that they should have had. Thus began the acquisition deal, where similar to if you are trying to launch something in another country and you don't want to go through years of paperwork, what you would normally do is you acquire a company from that country, and by de facto, you own that company, and therefore you own all their paperwork, and therefore you are then legally, regulatorily compliant. Ridiculous, but this is how it works. So a lot of companies are still trying to acquire custody companies in order to, when the grand day comes or continues, no one knows exactly how much crypto Rich people are buying behind the scenes, but the idea is that if I have a custody company already under my belt, and you as a customer are looking to secure a place to hold your $100 million worth of crypto, well, guess what? I can do it. And now we've gotten news that Ripple has acquired a company that will allow them to do so. It says Medico specializes in developing cutting-edge technology that enables financial institutions to securely store and effectively manage digital assets. Some of its notable clients are Citibank, BNP Paribas, and Societe Generale. After the acquisition, Ripple will become the exclusive shareholder of Medico. It will, however, allow the company to retain its independent brand identity and continue its operations uninterrupted. How do I say this in the nicest way? This was one of those news stories that ended up being like extremely popular when you would simply read it and look at it and go, oh, that's not very exciting news at all. But I guess maybe because it has to do with the word Ripple and them acquiring another company. For those of you who missed it, Ripple is actively now working with the Hong Kong Central Bank to help them build a central bank digital currency. They're working in like 20-something different countries around the world, 16 in Africa. So I guess this has to do a little bit with it. They were recently seen on a panel with the World Bank and International Monetary Fund. So the speculation now runs wild within the crypto XRP space that them acquiring a custody firm would be also potential indicators that they're working with other banks to be able to custody their digital assets and other, who knows? No, literally no one out there knows, but I guess it is a little bit interesting when you constantly see that Ripple is making moves like this. So yeah, that's the Ripple has acquired another company news. They're doing it all the time. It just usually doesn't end up making it to popular news, but alas, here we are. And yeah, let's move on. Also I think I get it, but maybe not. Lucie, as Lucie, a Shiba ecosystem official and content marketing specialist, has taken to Twitter to share the intricate details of the much-awaited Shiba Inu cold wallet. I didn't know people were waiting for this. It's either Tangem or Tangem, that is Tangem. A Switzerland-based blockchain company has confirmed its collaboration with Shiba Inu to launch a unique cold wallet solution. It announced that a limited edition of wallets will arrive soon. Here's the tweet for it right here. It is a box with a Shiba Inu face on it with the words Tangem and Shiba Leash Bone. Oh, those are the other three coins within the ecosystem. Per the details shared by Lucie, users will be able to store and manage their digital assets, including SHIB, anywhere in the world, as the new wallet will support. It says the new wallet will support over 6,000 currencies. I would assume, hear me out here, that means digital currencies. I assume as Shiba Inu is built on top of Ethereum, they will be supporting every other ERC20 token. So the 6,000, while it does sound quite impressive, is simply, I assume it's other systems within their actual ecosystem that would automatically be supported if you are supporting Ethereum and anything ERC20. Users will be able to gain access to DeFi, NFTs, decentralized exchanges, and so on. It says new SHIB X Tangem Cold Stored Wallet Edition, an easy and affordable way to keep your assets safe, store and manage your digital assets anywhere in the world. And another tweet with pretty photos. No price, no date, no news really floating around this other than like it's coming, it's happening. So far this year, we have the Shiba Inu cold wallet, no date. We have the Shiba Inu layer 2 solution, Shibarium. We have the metaverse. Apparently that's also happening as well. Yeah, apparently I thought it was a rumor months ago when we were like talking about it. Nope, apparently someone on Twitter announced that Shiba Inu will most certainly be getting their own metaverse at some point. No information, no details. It's a lot of it's coming. Don't worry. It's going to happen. It's going to be there. Get ready for it. We're going to have it. We also haven't had a lot of Shiba Inu coin burn news, which was a really big thing just a couple of months ago, but now they seemingly have pivoted to a brand new this. Yeah, that's the Shiba Inu, has a cold wallet edition. I logically assume the other cold wallets that we already have can already store Shiba Inu, but maybe you want a dog face on your thing that you're going to be using. That's the Shiba Inu news. And yeah, moving along. Also in news, the number of NFTs on Bitcoin has apparently passed by 7 million. Yeah. On Tuesday, 7.2 million ordinal inscriptions have been added to the Bitcoin blockchain. People mining Bitcoin have made 1,324 Bitcoin in fees by confirming inscription transactions, which equate to roughly $35 million in on-chain fees. If you've been using Bitcoin or if you've been here at any point over the course of the last week, inscriptions have become incredibly popular. However, despite their rapid increase in popularity, a lot of people are a little upset that they are raising Bitcoin transaction fees. Just a couple of months ago, we were talking that Bitcoin had 8 cents for their transaction fees, which was not unheard of, but it's been a while since we've seen anything under 10 cents for a Bitcoin transaction cost. And then we started getting to the area of around like $2, $3, $4. And I think the highest we got was around $8. And this is why we also have been seeing a massive uptick in the amount of companies who have been talking about getting into and or integrating the Bitcoin Lightning Network. It is the only solution that we have right now. There have been other proposals for things on Bitcoin. The core chain is probably never, ever going to be updated and or increased in any sort of way, and therefore we have to rely on layer 2, other layers, and or other chains hanging from the actual core to make sure that the entire thing continues running. But when you have a situation where we have a lot of people who are talking about that Bitcoin could be on the cusp of going to 100K, 200K. I saw someone yesterday talking about a $500,000 Bitcoin by the end of next year. And we have a problem now with people simply making NFTs on Bitcoin, and we get to an $8 transaction fee. No one would be using the network if we get to a $45, $65 transaction fee for Bitcoin. Unless you're trying to send $500,000, the $65 would not actually matter to you. However, for everyone else who's trying to use it, it ends up becoming a major issue, especially as the news that we got, for those of you who were not here, apparently a lot of the NFTs have actually become FTs. Yeah, there we go. That makes sense. Basically, people have figured out how to make new coins on top of Bitcoin with ordinals. So therefore, there are other coins on top of Bitcoin that are now running on top of the system as well. You kind of get the idea. The unstoppable momentum of Bitcoin's NFTs continues to defy detractors, surging past several milestones. With over 7 million NFTs now firmly embedded in the blockchain, any skepticism towards demand surrounding this trend is being shattered. I don't think anyone had skepticism that the largest blockchain in the world was going to do just well with having NFTs on top of it. The problem the problem we heard from the get-go were the amount of developers who were saying that this was going to clog up the network and stating that we shouldn't do this, or that it should have been done somewhere else, or maybe on top of the Lightning Network. But it's here. We got to deal with it. People love it. And therefore, that's just the way that things are. There's a little chart here. I mean, every 4 or 5 days, I feel like the chart is similar, but not really. In that, you see the line going up, and it's like, whee! It's going to keep going up forever as the amount of people making NFTs on top of Bitcoin, of course, begins to continuously skyrocket. When or if the cryptocurrency market does eventually rocket back up into the air, we are going to see a resurgence in the amount of people who not only are using cryptocurrencies and buying crypto, but heaven help us, if there's any NFT project on top of Bitcoin that becomes big, huge worldwide. Everyone loves it. It has an ape on it, or a cat, or a dog, or any other animal that's actually out there. Then that's only going to increase transaction fees, and therefore you kind of get the idea. So this news follows us. This seems to be the new Terra Luna and Shiba Inu coin burn news, as those have seemingly faded from the news. Now what we're getting at least once or twice a week is the amount of NFTs on Bitcoin, how well they're doing, and how many people continue to make more and more and more. That's the Bitcoin ordinal inscription news. Yeah. Let's move on. In what I can only deem to be surprising, Flare has announced that a new Flare token drop, known as Flare Drop 0.03, I think 3.0 would have been better, is now available to claim for all wrapped Flare holders. It should be recalled that the Flare token airdrop began on the 9th of January. For anyone who participated in the snapshot on the 12th of December 2020, that was like 19 years ago. The first stage of the distribution saw 4.279 billion Flare tokens distributed to millions of recipients. They were on Binance, OKX, Kraken, BitHum, Upbit, KuCoin, Bitbank, and others. And here's a tweet for it right here. It says, Flare Drop 0.03 is now available to claim for all wrapped Flare holders. To claim your tokens, connect your wallet to the Flare portal or set up auto claiming. And there's, pretty tweet. The Flare airdrop was distributed at a ratio of 1 point something Flare per XRP, with 15% of the total supply released to the community at that time. After this, Flare launched a monthly 36-month Flare drop that would total 24 billion Flares that can be claimed by recipients who have wrapped Flare tokens. So for those of you who weren't here, in 2020, they announced that there would be an airdrop for anyone who was holding XRP. It took a while. People thought it was going to be a couple of weeks. Nope, it took a very long time for that to actually happen. When it finally began to airdrop, people thought that it would be one gigantic avalanche of Flare tokens, but I assume the Flare people were like, whoa, and kind of realized what was going to happen. If you've never been here before, if you've never experienced a cascade of airdrops, what tends to happen is you get the new coin and you sell it. About 90% of people tend to sell off their airdropped coins quite quickly, and they would either buy more XRP or they would buy more Bitcoin, you kind of name it. So I assume that I am not a flarer. I am not one of these people. In an effort to make sure that all the coins are not dumped into the ecosystem at one exact time, therefore destroying the entire network and price of the coin, they airdropped some, and they will be airdropping them over the course of the next 3 years, which is kind of crazy to think about, because the idea is if Flare ends up doing well, not the coin's price, but the project, in the next year, there will then be more coins given to for free people who have held on to their coins and or are supporters of Flare. So you kind of get the generalized idea. So there's now another airdrop coming. I will not, unless something crazy happens, I will not be going over this every single time. It's more of another airdrop has happened. If you have coins in there, you can go get them right now, but it seems completely redundant to go over this every single month for the next 35 months when you should know. I would just set up the auto claim. It makes a lot more sense just to auto get the coins as opposed to having to wait. That's the Flare is still a thing. The airdrop is still a thing, and you are able to claim more coins. And if you are able to do so, turn on auto claim. So you don't have to, worry in 24 months that you didn't get your coins, because they would also still be there. Yeah. That's the Flare drop news. See what I did there? Okay. All right. Let's move on. Also in completely unsurprising news, Coinbase, the largest and most popular crypto exchange in the United States, has confirmed that they are going to be integrating, you guessed it, the Bitcoin Lightning Network onto their platform. thus ensuring Bitcoin transactions scale and move along at quicker paces. The Lightning Network is yada yada. The news involving the Lightning Network was announced on Twitter by Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase. He stated, it was a small sentence, but it made people go crazy. He said, Lightning, he literally said only, Lightning is great and something will integrate. So at this point, we've heard from, I believe it was Kraken, I believe it was Binance, we now have Coinbase, and a couple of other smaller companies that they're all going to start integrating the Lightning Network. I think this is something that should have been done in 2019, maybe even 2020, but alas, it has taken a very long amount of time. It's very weird that in crypto and many other things in life, people need to see things break before they actually begin to take care of them. So the news that the Bitcoin network has been slowing down, and one of the easiest ways to get more adoption is by actually making sure that Bitcoin's transaction fees are lower and that the Lightning Network has more Bitcoin locked inside of it, therefore allowing more transactions and integrating it into the largest cryptocurrency exchanges on the planet. It's sometimes, it took years, and now everyone is kind of playing ball, playing game. They're all trying to do it now at the exact same time. So once again, similar to, who was the other one? There was someone else like 3 weeks ago who also announced something about the Lightning Network, and it was also a small little blurb. It was like, yeah, we're thinking about it. Yeah, Lightning's amazing. I don't remember who it was, but they have to do it. There is no other way at this point. Once again, no one's upgrading the main chain. And if we really talk honestly with ourselves, no one wants to use Bitcoin. As in, like, everyone's afraid of getting rid of their Bitcoin because it might be worth a lot more later. But then you talk about people actually using it or sending it even just as a normal transaction. Nobody wants the high transaction fees. If you want to keep it number one, you got to make sure that it stays number one. You got to make sure that people have an easy way to send it. Anyway, so no date, no word, no time. There's no reference for when this is going to happen other than we'll integrate. So cool. Hope it happens soon. Time's a ticking. I don't know why everyone takes so long to actually upgrade or work on the actual payment systems as opposed to trying to get regulatory approval in countries that don't want you in the first place. But who am I to judge? That's the Coinbase. Apparently, is going to be integrating the Lightning Network at some point in the future. Well, it can't be the past because that doesn't make any sense. All right, let's move on. Yeah, as always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters: Jim, American Crypto Academy, Martin Stoyer, Bodie McBoatface, Sam Ratter, Dotha Diddy, Manny Cryptos, Crypto Gambino, Auspicious Agile and Blockchain, Jamie Saad, and let's move on. Empire Queen, Roman Gaba, Bitcoin Ben Arachno, Dave the Dealer, Zen Cap, the Summing in the Z-Way, Lay, Mo, Barazi, VB Nerd 21, Lauren De Silva, Cord Biddy, Troy Allgood, Space Case, Nita Miracle, Paternoster, Navarro Williams, Utopia 569, Moonman High XRP, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Animal Reader, A Bibliophobia, Adam Graysick, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Crypto Artist, Cold D3D, Setsuna, Paxis, Jim Gardner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Yes to Crypto, Anytime Fitness, Monk's Corner Staff, Bake Me a Cake, Tigara, Machonisa, and on Crypto with Lionel. Thank you all very, very much for your support. I know the videos are a bit weird again. Sorry about that. I don't know if you've noticed. Maybe, I don't know. Who knows? I'm moving. I'm doing a lot of stuff. I'm packing bags. I'm packing boxes. Making sure that you guys still get the cryptocurrency news that's out there. But there's a lot to do as always. And therefore, I can't be as on the ball as I have always been. But, still making sure that there's news out there for everyone. I do sincerely hope that you have all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, great morning, great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope sincerely that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and or supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.